are prone to becoming so attached to our characters and stories that we struggle to see why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing to full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, shaping stories into masterpieces that can stand the test of time. Editing services are provided for all genres and all age categories. Services range from critiques of the short story through to the line edits of the full-length novel and copy editing for those preparing for publication. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites, as well as help with those book blurbs and promotional material. We won't abandon you to the masses. We want to celebrate with you in your successes. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services and prices, visit us at blackwolfeditorial.com.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
This is Shut Up and Get a Customer here on KLRN Radio. Sales insights for those looking for an unreasonable amount of success. Featuring Dan Jordan, the sales energizer. Online at remedysalesmatch.com. Dan Jordan's advice, shut up and get a customer. Find out more at remedysalesmatch.com.
There we go. Look at that. Your first intro. Ladies and gentlemen, you may not realize this because things seem to work so perfectly here in the world headquarters. And that is that we have a new producer here, New Guy Nick. Say hello, New Guy Nick.
Hello, Radio Land.
Yeah, there is new. And this obviously isn't your first time because you just brought us right in with no problem there.
Not completely new to the world of radio, but new here. Nice to be in here with you, Dan.
Really? Now, where are you from?
I'm actually from Marietta is where I grew up, so I'm just north OTP. So Atlanta's my home. Atlanta's where I've been my whole life. I'm getting some no's over here.
OTP?
So, yeah, OTP.
What's that?
Outside the perimeter.
You have no idea. There's people that watch this show from Belgium. You think they're going to have an idea of where OTP is, for crying out loud. He's not our only guest here today. I'm going to consider you a guest for the first episode here.
I appreciate that.
We also have a good friend of mine here who has an awesome name and an even better accent. His name is Malcolm Gladwell. It's not really Malcolm Gladwell, but it's Malcolm... What's your last name?
Evans.
Malcolm Evans, and he's from, well, why don't you tell us where you're from and why you're here?
Well, I'm from Wales, and like Dan says in his posh voice, whales. Okay, those big fish. Yep, reason I'm here is met Dan a couple of years ago, and we had some things in common, and we have worked on a couple of little projects together, and we both are passionate about spreading the word of sales.
You see that? So people from Wales, you think people from Wales there, New Guy Nick, are going to know where outside the OTP is?
Well, you know what? That they've learned something new today. A little bit about some lingo here. So.
Well, whenever anybody says to me, I'm from Atlanta, I'm from Georgia. No, nobody's from Atlanta. Everybody's come from somewhere else.
No, not me.
Well, my wife is, and I'm glad that you listening to the show here right now are here because you're about to hear something you've never heard before. This show is for individuals, entrepreneurs, and solopreneurs who want an unreasonable amount of success in their life. Right, New Guy Nick?
Yes.
Unreasonable. Wealth, fame, and good fortune is at your beck and call if you simply focus on one thing and one thing every day. You know what that is, Malcolm?
Get a customer.
Just get a bloody customer. People worry about all sorts of stuff when they start their business, except the most important thing, which is getting a new customer. Now, you, New Guy Nick, did something special this week.
I did.
You got a job, and when you got this job, you had to actually sell yourself.
Yes, I did. That's part of the interview process.
How did that work? So why do you think you got the job over all the other thousands of people that were dying for this opportunity?
Well, no, Joey here has told me it was partly because of my beautiful bearded face, but I don't know about that. I don't know about all that.
The BBF?
The BBF.
The beautiful bearded face. No, really, I'm seriously. I mean, because you were in competition.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, it's a selling process, and basically you have to show why you are the better option. At whatever stage of the game you're trying to go for.
And so, when did you know that you had it? Is it during the interview?
It's probably that feeling you have right when you're saying bye to everybody. Hey, thanks for the interview, and I appreciate it and whatnot. When you get that final adios, it really kind of gives you that feeling of this went a lot better than I thought, or this went great, and you kind of go, okay, well, this is it. I feel 99.9% sure, because you're never 100% until you get that phone call. So.
And how long was it until you got that phone call?
It was about a week, and then a week later I got a phone call, and everything changed from there.
What did you do in between that week? Did you call them?
No, actually, I sent an email back to the guy who interviewed me and let him know, I appreciate the chance to talk with you, and I hope I get a chance to work with you soon. And all of a sudden, got that phone call a few days later.
You see, Malcolm, the follow-up thing, how would you have followed up? I mean, that worked for him, but how would you have followed up?
I think the follow-up, it worked.
You got to talk into the mic there, son.
Okay, I think that the follow-up worked, and there's also a fine line between too much follow-up, not enough, and so on. And I'm glad you got a feel for it. The thing that jumps to mind now is when you got the job, did you say, hey, why did I get the job?
And as a matter of fact, now that you mention it, no. I was so ecstatic that I got it, I didn't really think about why was I the better option. Try not to look a gift horse in the mouth, so to say. So figured I got the job, I'd roll with it from there and figure that out as I went.
Well, look at that. The reason I want to understand that, because, personally I believe, looking attractive, and I'm a big one for facial hair. Okay, so looking attractive is going to get you in the game. What comes out of your mouth and your actions are going to keep you in the game. And obviously, you went through all of those phases in the right way. To close loop, understand, well, how did this work? Hey, I may need to repeat it sometime. Not saying, it's your first week, but,
Doesn't it sound good listening to him now?
Yeah,
all right, well, listen, it's time, ladies and gentlemen, for the Jim Rohn quote of the week.
Love Jim Rohn.
You know who Jim Rohn is, their new guy, Nick?
Yes, I do.
You do?
Yes.
I think he's lying right now.
Jim Rohn?
Now, you see, everybody thinks Jim Rohn. No, okay, Jim Rohn. Just rookie. All right. Here it is. Don't join an easy crowd. You won't grow. Go where the expectations and the demands to grow are high. You think that over? No, we like it when the phone. Whose phone was it that rang? It was yours. Really? Yeah. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. If you're ever on a sales call, this is perfect. I actually do this in seminars. I leave my phone on purpose.
Really? Why?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's the weirdest thing. First of all, when you're giving speeches, every person who's giving a speech does the same thing. What they do is they say, all right, before we get started, everybody shut down your phones. Like, what do they think? They're special? It's the only place in life you have to shut down your phone. They're going to order me around. You think if you're on a sales call, you can talk to the person that you're trying to sell something to, and you can say, do me a favor, while I'm presenting, shut off your phone? No, you're going to be interrupted in life. That's what life is all about. And you got to learn to wing it and go from there. So I say, leave your phone on. Now, if you're on an interview, don't be an idiot. Take the phone and leave it in the car. And I'll tell you why it's important. Because even if it just vibrates, or even if it's just a little, it's impossible not to peek down and look at it. And as soon as you lose contact with the person you're interviewing with and give it toward your phone, you just lost the job. In an interview or on a sales call, leave your bloody phone in the car. What do you think, Malcolm? I
think you're right. Now, if I leave my phone on.
This is the microphone.
I leave my phone on and a customer calls me. I'm going to say, hey, sorry, got to take this. My customer's the most important person in the world. You could be that most important person in the world in my life. So answer the phone. I think you're right. Pick it up. Say, yep, how can I help you? I may need to get back to you.
Cheerio. Pip, pip.
Pip, pip.
Have you ever said pip, pip?
I've been known to. But
You've pipped?
This accent is a weapon. Okay.
Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about getting big accounts. It's easy to walk into the pharmacy and sell your vitamins. It's easy to walk into your neighbor's house and tell them about water. You're going to tell us about water?
No.
It's easy to do that stuff. But what do you do when you're trying to hit big accounts? I had a person call me, one of the many fans listening to the show. I know them personally by name. That's how many there are. It's big time. Are you laughing out loud there, new guy Nick?
Oh, yeah, the microphone's off, but I can giggle over
Do
here.
you have
He's so happy, isn't he?
He seems like a jolly
have a good
fellow.
time.
He's a jolly fellow.
old St. Nick.
So, but it's a different world there, Malcolm, when you're trying to get enterprise accounts, and enterprise accounts is what fancy people call big accounts. You know, like the companies like to do. A lot of software companies say, we sell an enterprise solution. It's very big.
We are enterprising.
It's basically a big account. And it's a little different and a little the same, but there's probably, I wrote down 5 things that you must do in order to get the large accounts, and we'll try to get as many as we can here. And Malcolm, you can chime in.
I will, because this is my world. I came from this world.
You came from this world?
Large
so tell me, what's the difference? What do you have to do differently?
You go first, okay?
You go first?
Okay.
Everybody's telling me what to do. You're showing up 3 fingers. He's telling me to go first. Who's running the show here, huh?
You are.
Jeez. What's wrong with you people? All right. The first thing you have to do with your enterprise accounts, as far as I'm concerned, Malcolm Gladwell, I'm going to call you that for the rest of your life now. Just like you'll be officially New Guy Nick with a theme song. Next week, you're going to have it's New Guy Nick. Woo, it's New Guy Nick. All right, so, Malcolm, the first thing you have to do is to know your target. Not just the company that you're going after, but the actual person, the individual. Because if you don't have that target, you don't know how to attack. Patton said it best. George S. Patton. Are you people from Wales familiar with George S. Patton?
I am. I was thinking knitting patterns then.
Knitting pattern. Patton. No, he said this: when in doubt, attack. Isn't that great? I mean, you can't go wrong. It's just right there. Just go attack. So that's it. So you first have to know who the person you're going to attack. Not physically, but you know who your goal is. You may not get there at the beginning, but you know who your goal is. And I'm talking about that person, because once you know that person, you can find out, research that person. You can go on LinkedIn, you can find out where they went to school, who they're married to, how many children they have, where they live, and all the intimate stuff. So if, in just some freak of nature, you actually meet with them, you'll have something with which to have a commonality with. What do you think about that, Malcolm?
I think you're right on the money. In anything, whatever we're doing, it's all about people. You've got to get to that person. You've got to understand what drives him, what his needs are, what he perceives as risks, and make him feel comfortable and just mitigate that stuff. You're right. You've got to get to the person.
So how do you do that?
Well, you've got to do your homework. You've got to penetrate. And it depends how you start. You're going to go look at the large company and you're going to start all the segmentation stuff, or you're going to pick the phone up and you're going to try and make a contact with someone.
I stopped listening as soon as he said penetrate.
That was marketing speak.
That's the craziest thing. Oh, listen. All right. So listen, there are ways to get to that person that we're going to do when we get back after the break here. But I want to let everybody know you need to go to my, actually send me an email. I got something special for you. It's Dan@danjordan.com. Remember the U's in there. Dan@danjordan.com. Write cold calling, and I'm going to send you a cold calling course for free that people are paying $150 for right now. Do it, and we'll see you after the break.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls? Start saving thousands in interest and fees and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-826-1246. 800-826-1246. That's 800-826-1246. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Under pressure. Look at that, bringing in the good stuff there, new guy Nick.
Appreciate
what
that.
kind of music do you like, new guy Nick?
Hey, man, anything and
Wham?
everything.
You big
Wham?
into yeah?
I don't know if I've heard of it. Let me give him a listen.
Okay.
I might surprise you.
I'm from the 80s.
You know, that's the challenge.
I love the 80s.
All of my
I wasn't alive, but I wish I was.
All
there.
of my references go over. I have a gal at the other show that I do. Her name is Tiana. She's a wonderful guy. Actually, she does the intro for the thing, Tiana. And I call her Tiananmen Square just because it's fun. And she laughs at it and all this stuff. And then one day she comes and she goes, "What's Tiananmen Square?" Ugh, let me just kill myself right now. You know? What?
That's the school system failure.
What did you say?
I've been there.
You've been to Tiananmen Square?
It's cold.
Really? Did you meet Tiana?
No.
All right, listen, I'm serious. I want everybody to send me an email for that cold calling script. It's a whole course on cold calling. And that's, even with these enterprise accounts, even with larger accounts, there comes a point that you're going to have to talk to them. It's one of those things. The skills that you have on the phone, it's not the best way to get new customers, but what you learn by getting on the phone and talking to a stranger, the skills that you learn there can last for the rest of your life and will help you in every aspect of your life. Imagine getting up on the radio and talking and having and and ah and the only reason why you have that is because you haven't practiced talking to a bunch of strangers for years and years and years. Right, Malcolm?
Oh, yeah. Now, when I got into sales, first sales class I went to, and I don't think it was you, Dan, even though it was years ago, guy pitched it great. He said, look, everybody in the room, we're all new to sales. Yes, we all nodded our heads. He said, by the time you leave this room, you will have the skills to approach any pretty girl in a bar.
Yeah.
Ooh, we're all in. All ears. Okay.
That's true. When I was a boy, and how like uncles or like close friends come over the house and you basically listen to them more than you listen to your dad. So I had a guy come over and he was talking to me, and I would talk to him more than I would talk to anybody else, and I talked to him what was going on in school and how to do it, and things aren't working out with the actually nothing worked out with women back home. It was crazy. What it was from New Jersey. I had blonde hair, and I wasn't the Italian good looking muscle guy. And so I really did horribly in New Jersey. I wasn't very good. I moved down south here. It's great. This is
that stuns me.
This is where I belong.
The realtors always tell you location.
Yeah, that's it. It's located. Anyway, so this guy. I'll call him Mr. Smith because I don't want to say who he is. But this guy, he said, let me help you out. And he got me a book. And he said, read this book. It's How to Pick Up Girls. And I read the book. And the book was Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And it really works. I mean, it really works. But actually, you saw it last week there when we did Aqua Guard. Remember? After the show last week, Malcolm, when you were late. He missed the show, new guy Nick, because he was late. He came in at the end, and he missed it.
It's not the traffic, it's just the amount of cars.
The whole show. But we were just saying, I was just singing AquaGuard, and so I said, we need to have them as a sponsor. So after the show, I called them up on the phone, and I had a cold call. And what did you say when I first made the call and how we got through to the right person? What did I say first?
First thing you did was compliment the young lady on the phone. I can't remember her name, and I'm bad. I didn't write it down. But
Tina. The first thing I did, she answered, and she did answer the phone well. And so I complimented on the way that she answered the phone, and she automatically liked me. And then I did the famous, the 7 most important words you can ever say in starting any conversation, which is, I wonder if you can help me. And now that she likes me, and now I asked her to help me, of course she's going to help me. And those are just a couple of the things that you're going to learn when you, for free, go to my email, write cold calling on there, and I'll send you this course for free. You're crazy if you don't do it. Can you imagine somebody not doing that?
No, I can't.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. All right. Where are I told you I was going to give you 5 ways to get into the enterprise accounts. I've done 1, new guy Nick. You're supposed to keep me on track.
I apologize. Okay. For new guy Nick, I'm learning.
What's wrong with you? Jeez. All right. You need to know the perceived value of the result of the product that you're selling. You don't need to worry too much about the software program and how the intricacies designed with the manufactured and coming through the back door. You don't need to know all that stuff. All you need to know is, and believe it, that this thing will make you more efficient, get you more customers, and earn you more money. Is that something you're interested in hearing about, new guy Nick?
Absolutely.
Okay. What do you think of that, Malcolm?
He says absolutely very well. Yeah, I think it's.
He says absolutely very well.
Yeah,
it's you're easy. See,
we've got to understand that there's a need, and what we're going to offer is going to be understood or perceived to fill that need. But again, to your point about you picking up the phone and talking to Tina, it's all about that dialogue between two people. The trust element's got to be there, and if that spark of connectivity, if they don't like you, they ain't going to listen to you.
Joey, the cameraman, just said, while you were talking. Did you hear that? He said, you know, you've just hit a home run if you get from Joey, the cameraman. It was absolutely, you got to get the play. You got to go in with the result that you're serving and not, what we do is this, what we do is that. They don't care what we do. They care of the result for them.
I'm going to blurt here, I'm sorry, but we had a theme going here. It all starts with foreplay. We've got to talk. We've got to understand.
Jeez. I mean, there are children that listen to this show. What's wrong with this guy, new guy Nick?
Nick's getting worried about the FCC license.
That's right. But, you're right. And and knowing what okay, here's a story. So my daughter, 14, good girl, 14 years old. She's beautiful, and she's in that stage where she doesn't like me much. Not that she doesn't like me, it's just that I'm kind of useless, But so we're sitting on the couch, and we're watching TV, and she's with her phone, and she's looking at her phone, looking up at the TV, doing this, Snapchat, this, and I look at her, and I asked her a couple questions, and she kind of grunted at me, almost like a Joey, like that, almost one of those things. And finally, I asked her a couple questions, and I look at her, I shut the TV off, and I look at her, I say, Sophie, 10 years from now, are you going to be happy and proud with the way you're treating your father today? And she rolls her eyes. She goes, what'd I do? I didn't say anything. I said, you're excluding me from your life. And then she was quiet, and we turned on the TV again, and I just let her think for a minute. About a minute and a half later, she comes over to my side of the couch and snuggles me like she's 4 years old again. I mean, just kind of melts into me, puts her head down. She might even done like that. Who knows? But I'm thinking, as I'm there in that, I could smell it right now. As I'm there holding her like this, I'm thinking to myself, ask for anything. I will give you anything right now. I will give you anything. This is what I want. I want this feeling. What do I have to do to get this feeling all the time? When you're in an enterprise account, there's still people. They're still human beings. And if you find out through your research that this person that you contact, all they want is to be able to get home on time to watch their son's Little League game, and you come to them and you say, I got a way for you to get home to do that, what do I need to do? Yep. And then you don't worry about selling because they're too busy buying. It works when you're going into the small business guy, and it works when you're dealing with a person at a larger company just as well.
So we're going to find out how to give that corporate hug.
Oh, God. You see, take it from the Europeans to come with some fancy little lingo. Write that down. Corporate hugs. He's going to be seminars now going around the world. Corporate hugs. Jeez.
I will tweet it.
You will tweet it? Oh, wow. 3 fingers. It's good that you did that because we haven't done. No, I haven't gotten to the other 3 things. So you failed because we're not going to be able to get to it right now. But there is next week, New Guy Nick. But I think you did awesome so far. Give him a round of applause. It's very good. Listen, New Guy Nick, this is going to be your first special event where we do the Sales Story of the Week. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Trivia, what game show was that from?
Can't tell you. I'm sorry.
Price is Right. What's wrong with these people? All right. It keeps getting worse. I liked it 2 minutes ago. I was happy with you. All right. This is a true story. I had there's a National Speakers Association, Malcolm. Have you ever heard of it?
I am a member.
And they meet here in Georgia. It's called the Georgia Speakers Association. Did you go this past week?
No, I did not.
Okay. There was a gal there.
Guess what?
Who does speaking. He's a card-carrying member of the NRA and the Georgia Speaking Association. And she was a, what are you smiling at? He's giggling. She was there talking, and she has a business where she's I guess an agent for several different people. She has a speakers bureau, and so she sends speakers out to different places. Everybody wants to talk to her. But she's got a bunch of customers, but she found out that she was ill. And she said, I'm going to do something right. And while she was healing up, she took off for 7 months, got herself a camper, and went around the country and stopped in and visited all her clients in person. In person, stopped in, just dropped off a book, see you later. I just want to put a face with the name and all that stuff with a voice. And she came back after 7 months. She healed up and all that stuff. She said her business doubled and tripled. It changes the way she do business. She no longer has to go out and make calls. People will call her. She recommends something. People leave her. They trust her. The in-person call is more important now than it has ever been. And people can do it in all areas of sales. And even when you're looking for a job and you're trying to sell yourself. Right, Malcolm? Malcolm, we got about 45 seconds. You got something to say about yourself?
About me?
Yes.
Well, I believe everything you say. I believe it starts and ends with a relationship. Find common ground, understand the need, see how you can serve, you'll be of value.
That's exactly right. All right, and the way you can be of value and get more value every day is simply by going to my website, RemedySalesMatch.com. Sign up for the newsletter. You're crazy if you don't do it. Go to Facebook at Dan Jordan, Sales Coach, on Twitter at DJ Jordan. And remember to send me that email, Dan@DanJordan.com. Just put cold calling on it. I'm going to send you something that is worth more than a little. What are you doing? 9 seconds? 8? 5, 4. All right, we're going to see you next week. I'm the Deej. You have a great week. Go get them.
This is Shut Up and Get a Customer here on KLRN Radio. Sales insights for those looking for an unreasonable amount of success. Featuring Dan Jordan, the sales energizer. Online at RemedySalesMatch.com. Dan Jordan's advice, shut up and get a customer. Find out more at RemedySalesMatch.com.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls, start saving thousands in interest and fees, and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-826-1246. 800-826-1246. That's 800-826-1246. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
All writers are prone to becoming so attached to our characters and stories that we struggle to see why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing into full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, shaping stories into masterpieces that can stand the test of time. Editing services are provided for all genres and all age categories. Services range from critiques of the short story through to line edits of the full-length novel and copy editing for those preparing for publication. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your website, as well as help with those book blurbs and promotional material. We won't abandon you to the masses. We want to celebrate with you in your successes. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services and prices, visit us at blackwolfeditorial.com.
You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.